Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about the David Ayer cut, the Snyder cut, and why it is becoming incredibly apparent that the American government, the U.S. president, should be highly involved in the oversight of the American entertainment industry, and currently that situation, oversight for American government, the U.S. presidency being intimately involved in the American entertainment industry, is we don't have the structure for it, and we're way behind on a very needed metric, an American metric. All right, a metric is the data from measuring something. Okay, all right, so let's talk about this. So one, this Snyder cut situation is blowing up very, very fast, and it is morphing already into exactly what I said it would be. The Snyder cut is the most important thing that is happening in the American entertainment industry in 2020. And yes, that means it's more important than the changes that have already happened to the entertainment industry from the coronavirus. The importance of the Snyder cut is massive. So just like a week ago, Snyder cut was announced, and it was at a budget of $20 million. Within a week, that budget has already close to doubled. It's now $30 or $40 million, and there has been so much press about the Snyder cut, and DC and Warner Brothers and AT&T have gotten so much press coverage from this that already the people who got the Snyder cut made into a reality. The Snyder cut advocates, the Snyder cut advocates are saying that they now want the David Ayer cut. Now, what is the David Ayer cut? The David Ayer cut is specifically it is a cut of the movie Suicide Squad. Now, the reality is there was a lot of talk about whether the Snyder cut was even real. Did the footage exist? And some of the footage exists, but already it's very clear that the Snyder cut really wasn't as real as people were pretending it was. And the reason why is, with the $30-40 million budget, it's almost certainly pointing toward reshoots, right? And if you're shooting new scenes for a movie, that's not just an edit, right? That's new content for the film. And Henry Cavill has returned. This Snyder cut is growing like crazy, right? But because the Snyder cut has already been so successful, air quotes, right? I don't think it's produced. I'm not sure it's produced a single dime for Warner Brothers, for DC, or for AT&T. It's not clear at all that it's really made them any real money. It's just gotten them a lot of exposure, which in America, that generally does lead to money. If people are talking about your content, it usually helps, right? So all of that is happening, and this and now, this emboldened internet community who is able to ask for new cuts of films and get $30-40 million dedicated to their wishes feels incredibly emboldened. And so what they're doing right now is they're asking for the David Ayer cut. They're saying, hey, we know that there's a version of Suicide Squad that was actually literally released to a test screening, and we want that released, right? Well, first of all, it's certain that there's no way they're going to get that cut. Basically, they'll go in and they'll re-edit, and they'll shine it up, right? And there's this idea that Jared Leto put in this great performance, and that the movie was awesome. And the only thing that made it a terrible movie was studio exec interference, right? It's this age-old, old spouse's tale that basically studio execs don't know what they're doing, and they just ruin every film, right? Which these internet advocate communities for recutting films really believe in, right? Now, what's the problem with the Ayer cut? Well, there's a lot of problems with the Ayer cut. So one, Zack Snyder put on a 3-year campaign to make the Snyder cut a reality, and he thought that he would be first out of the gate, and he would have the first multi-million-dollar edit re-edit, re-release of a film that the studio was admitting, our studio execs, they're not admitting it explicitly, but, dotted line, they're saying, yes, our studio's exec ruined this film. Now we're going to give you the artist's vision, right? Let's forget the fact that with $30 or $40 million on the line, there's going to be more studio execs in the room. Like, it's craziness. You are looking at Ouroboros, truly the snake eating its tail. All right, now, how does this involve the U.S. government? Well, here's the thing. Right now, there are tens of thousands of employees, and if there is even a minor change in the steel industry, in the corn industry, or in the oil industry, the U.S. government is aware of those changes, and they are saying, hey, we need to address this through tax, through policy, or through highlight, a conversation. And they will direct and guide an American industry in the right direction if the industry has some massive change that's going to happen within the industry that could upset literally hundreds of businesses or entire sub-industries, right? But that structure doesn't exist for entertainment. And we are in serious, serious trouble. And the reason why is this is like a strain of the Snyder Cut is like if in the corn industry there was a farmer who was like, hey, I can triple the yield on corn right now with this new strain of corn I have, but the corn is green, right? It's not yellow, right? You can bet there would be entire departments of the government that was like highly invested in making sure this was safe, making sure this wasn't going to destroy entire industries, making sure that this wouldn't destroy companies or industries in other countries, right? They'd be all over it, right? If there's any kind of a change at this level, at the Snyder Cut level, in steel, oil, or corn, the government would be intimately involved, right? For the safety of people, for the safety of industries, for the safety of our economy. And now, what's happening right now is like, I feel like the Snyder Cut is a gigantic sharpened hook flailing on the wind at the end of a steel wire, right? And I just feel like heads are going to get lopped off with this thing. Like, industry heads, political heads. This thing, there's no oversight here. The government doesn't even understand what's happening with the Snyder Cut. But you are looking at a fundamental foundational change in the movie industry, right? And frankly, in American entertainment and in American celebrity. And the government is nowhere to be seen. They're ignorant of the entire situation. And that is a huge, huge problem. Also, last, Snyder did this 3-year crusade, and David Ayer made a couple tweets, right? And so it's just, there's so many things that are unfair and frustrating about any and all of this. And it is really alarming what's happening. And it's alarming to me that where there is this massive industry change that's being made, we don't even have the structure to measure what's happening, let alone have the government come in and give any type of oversight or helpful direction. And that is incredibly frightening to me. I want to thank everybody. I know this is an incredibly nuanced discussion, and actually, I understand that what I'm saying is non-intuitive. So I appreciate everybody's patience in listening to this. I really feel it's incredibly important. I do understand it's hard to understand this position, and and this is another one of those areas where I feel like I'm 5-10 years out. I feel like, 5-10 years from now, people will come along and write dissertations on what I'm talking about now, right? This is, people are going to recognize this and understand it. But my frustration is it may be too late then. So let's see what happens. I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping that maybe somebody in the government industry can see what a massive change this is and start to make some changes to give some good direction for our overall entertainment industry. All that's my opinion. I'd love to hear your opinion on this topic. What's your opinion on the Ayer cut? Should it come out before the Snyder cut? Does it matter that David Ayer did none of the work or the hard labor to bring about the first multi-million-dollar re-edit of a movie with the studio, dotted line acknowledging interference by studio executives? That's a huge change in the industry. That is foundationally an important new change. And David Ayer didn't do he did 10% of the work at most. And Snyder was pulling on that rope for 90% of the labor. But it looks like David Ayer is going to get the fruition. He's going to get the meat of the fruit. And that's incredibly unfair. What's your thought on all this? I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.